over the years at some point. And Joe takes pole here in the number 76, the Ball Trucking sponsored machine. Alongside her is a veteran of the Mini 7 Racing Club, Graham Davis from London, in his number 6, the yellow car. Second row will be number 29, which is Damien Harrington, former Mighty Minis Championship racer for the 1990s Rover Minis. Alongside him is Darren Thomas, number 20 from Gloucester, the green car. Darren Thomas, the driver's representative for this series. Row 3 will be number 49, Ross Billison, and alongside him 73, which is Spencer Wanstall. And then we've got the two protagonists from the front of yesterday's race, number 80 Joe Thompson, and 88 Mike Jordan, the black and white car with the red bumper you can just see there towards the right of your picture. Row 5, number 72, which is Graham Penn, alongside 16 of Andrew King. And then at the back of the field in the first group should be the reigning 7 champion, number 1 Conor O'Brien, who failed to finish yesterday's race. Then there's a gap, and we've got the 7S class. You can tell the 7S class from their rivals. They've got 3-digit numbers, all starting with a 7. So in pole position there is number 714, Welshman Chris Pryor. Alongside him, 721, Kieran Edgecombe. Behind them is 797, Jack Vanner, and 758, the points leader coming into this weekend, Matthew Ayres. Next is 706, Jonathan Page, and the former champion 728, Michael Winkworth in that division. And then we've got the father and son duo we heard from earlier, Fraser and Andrew Hack. 725, Fraser Hack is the yellow car, Andrew in the white car, his father alongside him. The latecomer is making its way up to the back of the grid there. Behind the Hacks, who were 1-2 in yesterday's race, we should have 778, Kate Fraser-Kerr, but I don't think she's there. She had an accident on the last lap of yesterday's race. 777 Dave Rees is there though, the green car. He failed to finish yesterday, as did the two at the back. 703 Matthew Page and 795 Stuart Gilby at the back of the field. I think he's starting with a grid penalty. This weekend has to start from the back. So the green flag lap gets underway to warm up the tyres, the Dunlop tyres on these minis. You will see the S class, the scholarship class, start with a 10-second delay. They start on the flag. So it is Jo Polly who is on pole. She's been racing minis. Well, she raced minis from a very young age because she used to race mini stocks on the short ovals. I remember seeing her at my local venue of Hensford Hills Raceway in Staffordshire in her armoured mini stocks. She then went into mini racing on the circuits, rather eschewing the family tradition of hot rod racing. But every member of the Polly family, as we say, has competed on the short ovals at some point. You see Ryan Polly out in saloon cars as well in his Honda Civic. He's won Renault Clio titles as well. Emily Polly is one of the newcomers to the autograss scene in recent years as well. There's so many members of the Polly family. Dave Polly, who's the current Brisker Formula 2 world champion. Let's see if Jo can win a title to go with all the rest of her family's tradition. She's on pole. Alongside her is the very experienced Graham Davis in the yellow car. Then we've got the number 29, the green car there, Damien Harrington. Darren Thomas alongside. Then it's Ross Billison. Looking at the points charts, Ross Billison had a win at the second meeting of the year at Donington, as did Joe Thompson. Joe Thompson's had 2 wins this year, one at Donington, one at Silverstone. And the other winner this year, Mike Jordan, who's taken 2 wins, one at Silverstone and one here yesterday, but he had a no score in round 4 at Donington, and therefore sat third in the points coming into this weekend behind Thompson and Ross Billison. Graham Davis fourth in the points, Damien Harrington rounding out the top 5. And in the S class, the scholarship division, Matt Ayres has taken 3 wins. He won both races at Silverstone and one at Donington. The other winner was Michael Winkworth, but he's further down the points charts because he didn't finish the second race at Donington and he missed the season opener at Silverstone. So Michael Winkworth, the former champion, playing catch-up. It's Matt Ayres who led the points coming into the weekend ahead of Jonathan Page, who had a rather wayward last lap yesterday, which dropped him down the order a bit. And Dave Rees, third in the standings in the pea green car. There he is, the 777. If you're wondering why it says inch in large letters on his radiator grille, that's because that car's engine prepared by Paul Inch, mini racing specialist. There's another car. Damien Harrington's car is a Paul Inch tuned car as well. So they're coming round towards the conclusion of their green flag lap then. Coming out of the bomb hole, you can see there how the circuit drops down quite dramatically. There's Joe Thompson, the white car with the red roof. He and Mike Jordan, watch for them coming through from row 4. There's Conor O'Brien, the reigning champion, number 1, retired from yesterday's race. Who starts from the back of the 7s. This will be a 20-minute race. Coming up to the grid then, out of the left-hander of Murray's. Championship sponsored by Dunlop Tyres, Mini Spares, Spax Dampers, Piper Cams and Curly Specialised Mouldings. Ian Curly was a champion in the Mini Miglias a number of times back in the 90s and early 2000s. So up to the grid they come then, an overcast day. It's dry at the moment here at Snetterton. Joe Polly, the blue and pink car on pole, alongside the yellow machine of Graham Davis. Consistent start to the season for him rather than out-and-out speed. Yet to finish on the podium, but through his consistency he's 4th in the points. Ready for a great day, a very busy day of racing on the Snetterton circuit then. Just waiting for the S-Class cars to come into line, the scholarship runners at the back. Looks like just one non-starter, as we say, no Kate Fraser-Kerr. She had a shunt on the last lap of yesterday's race. Michael Winkworth moving into line. He'll be one of the favourites in the S-Class. The Hack family, father and son. Son Fraser in the yellow car. Father Andy alongside him, pair from Milton Keynes. Looks like it is time to go racing then here at the Snetterton circuit. Joe Polly psyched up and ready on pole position. The 5-second board is held aloft. The green flag is waved at the back of the grid, waiting for the red lights to come on for the Dunlop Mini Challenge with Mini Spares, Mini 7s and Mini 7 S-Class. And away they go. Didn't see the red lights come on there, so it's maybe a problem with the lights. Graham Davis it is who's made a good start. That's caught Joe Polly out. She's dropped back. And who's this coming through? Ross Billison up the inside. Oh, he spun it. Ross Billison's gone. I think Graham Davis has gone as well. That's taken out Joe Polly. Oh, disaster into the first corner. Ross Billison got hit in the driver's door there, and it looks like it's Spencer Wanstall that has come through into the lead. Darren Thomas there on the inside, though. Thomas has got the lead. Joe Thompson is up into 3rd position. So down towards the left at Palmer they come. Here's the charge from the 7 S-Class. We'll pick up who's leading there in a moment, but it's Darren Thomas who leads the field overall. Spencer Wanstall in 2nd place. Joe Thompson is in 3rd. Then it's Damien Harrington in 4th. The first 3 are broken away. That was quite a messy start there. I have to say I didn't see the red lights come on there, so whether there's been a problem with the lights we don't know. Spencer Wanstall up the inside takes Darren Thomas for the lead in the Rune Speed prepared car. Here's the lead battle in the 7 S-Class. It looks like it is Chris Pryor from pole position, the ex-Legends Cars racer, who has the advantage there. There's the lead battle in the 7s. It's hard to know where to look. We've got 2 races in one here. The slightly less tuned, less powerful scholarship class cars further back. So Spencer Wanstall, former champion in the 7s, has got the lead. We saw him have a spectacular rollover at Silverstone at the Club Chicane last season. Out of Williams' corner onto the Bentley straight. Here's Fraser Hack battling it out for the lead in the S-Class. On the inside of Chris Pryor coming through Hamilton corner up towards Oggies, the right-hander, through the infield loop. 7.06 Jonathan Page. No, that's for 2nd place because Michael Winkworth has got through, I see there, into the class lead. It's all happening further back. It's all happening here as well. Through the left at Brundle, the right at Nelson. Spencer Wanstall defending his lead ahead of Thomas, then Thompson. Up into 4th is Conor O'Brien. Mike Jordan down in 6th place, so he hasn't had the best of starts, the Midlander. Spencer Wanstall, the number 73, leads the way, chased by Darren Thomas. Joe Thompson up there in 3rd in the Altered Image sponsored car, also backed by the Motorsport School. Here are the 7S class, led by former champion Michael Winkworth. 2nd is Fraser Hack. They've risen through to the front very quickly indeed. 3rd is Chris Pryor. Looks like it's Jonathan Page in 4th place behind him. Through towards the long right-hander at Coram as the leaders over the line, and Joe Thompson having a go up the inside here, down towards the right-hander at Riches. They conclude the first lap. He's not content with 2nd. He's got through on Darren Thomas. He had a look at Spencer Wanstall. Didn't quite manage to get alongside though. The red Mini Spares machine still leads the way. Joe Thompson up to 2nd. He's supported by the Motorsport School, run by Pete Edwards. They're based at Mallory Park. If you ever wanted to have a go at motor racing, that's the place to get your race licence. Joe Thompson, many predicting him as a future champion, chasing Spencer Wanstall for the lead. Swing through the left at Palmer, named after the owner of Motorsport Vision, who operates Snetterton and several other circuits as well, Dr. Jonathan Palmer, the ex-Formula One driver. Joe Thompson having a look. They come down to the left, it's Agostini, named after Giacomo Agostini, the legendary motorcycle racer. Some still debate over who is the greatest motorcycle racer ever. Agostini, Mike Hailwood, Valentino Rossi. Here's the lead in the S-Class further back. Fraser Hack giving chase to Michael Winkworth. They're closing in on one of the 7 runners a little further forward. I think that's the 72 of Graham Penn they're catching. Here's a replay of the first corner. There was a big squeeze, 4 into 1 didn't go, and Ross Billison was sent around. That also took out Joe Polly. We saw Graham Davis go spinning as well. That delayed Mike Jordan, so that's why he's not quite as far forward as we expect yet. Ross Billison, I think, is out of the race as a result of that contact. And Graham Davis has got a 10-second penalty, car number 6. So I'm assuming that's for a false start. Meanwhile, the leader's coming at the end of the Bentley straight into the complex, and it's Joe Thompson who has taken the lead. He's got ahead of Spencer Wanstall as they came down through Brundle and Nelson. Through the bomb hole, you can see there how suddenly the circuit drops away, and now Mike Jordan's up into 4th place as well. So it's Thompson who leads from Wanstall, Thomas in 3rd. Mike Jordan now beginning his charge. He was delayed as a result of that schmozzle at the first corner. 5th is Conor O'Brien, Damien Harrington in 6th, Graham Davis in 7th, but he's got a 10-second penalty, I assume, for a false start. There was a bit of confusion at the start. As we said, I didn't see the red lights before the field moved off, so whether there'd been a problem there, we don't know. Here comes Spencer Wanstall trying to get the lead back again from Joe Thompson. Mike Jordan, not surprisingly, has done the fastest lap, 2:22.852 on this long circuit layout, the Snetterton 300 circuit. Out of Riches up towards Wilson Hairpin. At the inside, there's Jordan. He's taken 3rd place from Darren Thomas. Now going after the 2 leaders, ready to resume his battle from yesterday with Joe Thompson. On the short straight, up to the left at Palmer. Swing their way through. Up towards Agostini once again. 4 cars together for the lead in the second race of the weekend for the Dunlop Mini Challenge Mini 7s, supported by Mini Spares, as is Spencer Wanstall. Needed more than Mini Spares to put his car right after that rollover at Silverstone, I should say, last season. Here's the battle in the S-Class. Jonathan Page has got ahead of Fraser Hack. You can see Hack's car missing a wheel arch there off the right front. It is still Michael Winkworth who leads that class, though. There he is, the blue and Dayglow red car. He's been class champion in the past. He's lifting a wheel slightly there as he swings through the left hand. Jonathan Page second in that category, ahead of Fraser Hack. Then we've got Matthew Ayres in the grey car. He led the points in the division coming into this weekend. Through the left at Hamilton. No prizes for guessing who that corner is named after. And into the right at Oggies, bouncing up on the curb there, Jonathan Page. And then up to Williams. Corner named in honour of the great Sir Frank Williams and his eponymous F1 team. Here are the leaders. Darren Thomas has dropped back. So it's 3 for the lead, and we've lost the 721 car. That's Kieran Edgecombe. He's getting going again. I think that's at Oggies. He's had a moment there. You can see the cross on the back of the car, the black cross on the yellow background. That means a novice racer. You have to wear that on the back of your car for your first 6 motor races. So Kieran Edgecombe, the man from Ledbury in Worcestershire, one of our newcomers here this weekend, just had a bit of a moment there, but he's got going again. Here are the S-Class leaders. Michael Winkworth is catching Andrew King, number 16. One of the 7 runners, again with the novice cross on the back. Great to see so many newcomers coming into mini racing. Another fastest lap for Mike Jordan. He's done a 2:22.852 now. 0.37 of a second covers the top 3. Joe Thompson leads. Mike Jordan's going through up into 2nd place, past Spencer Wanstall. So we're going to have a repeat of the battle we saw yesterday between the 80 and the 88, with Spencer Wanstall looking on from 3rd place. Darren Thomas still holding off Conor O'Brien for 4th. Conor looking to make up for lost points from a retirement in yesterday's race. It's Damien Harrington, Graham Davis, Joe Polly's got going again. She's back up into 8th position after that tangle on the first corner. Now, has Ross Billison got going again? Yes, he has, but he's a long way down in 19th place. Let's see if he can recover through the field. So I think everybody is still running despite that incident. We may have lost 72 Graham Penn, though. He didn't come through on the last lap. We saw him being caught by the S-Class runners, so he may have had a problem somewhere. Fraser Hack leading the family charge this time. His father Andy is down in 6th in class at the moment in the white car after his class win yesterday. As I said, we believe that's the first ever father and son 1-2 in the whole history of this club, dating back to the 60s. Onto the Bentley Straight they go. Here come the leaders in the S-Class. Jonathan Page is not letting Michael Winkworth get away here. Jonathan Page in a Swift-Tune powered car, tuned by Mini racing legend Nick Swift. There's only one way he knows how to drive a Mini, and that's completely sideways. It'd be great if we could get him back in this championship, Nick Swift. Saying yesterday, I remember him in historic touring cars in the 1990s, the historic series that used to support the British Touring Car Championship in the Super Touring era. Meanwhile, we have had a change for the lead. Mike Jordan's got ahead of Joe Thompson. I think he did that coming into the end of the Bentley Straight. He'll have slipstreamed the 80 car. And now he's going to try and put distance between himself and Thompson, who may have to defend from Spencer Wanstall. Still plenty of time to go, 10.5 minutes of this 20-minute race to go for the Dunlop Mini Challenge with Mini Spares 7 and S-Class categories. Here come your leaders in the S-Class. Winkworth, Page, and now Fraser Hack catching up. Joe Thompson's not finished yet. Over the line they go. He's going to have a look down the inside into Rich's corner. He's going through. Nicely done, Joe Thompson. Retakes the lead. Battle is joined at the front of the field, well and truly. Spencer Wanstall looking on. This is a repetition of yesterday's race. 3 of them line astern. Down to the right-hand hairpin at Wilson. 200 circuit, the shorter layout you can see turns off straight onto the Bentley Straight, misses out the infield loop. They're on that infield loop now up to Palmer, then to Agostini. It's the altered image coachwork car of Joe Thompson who holds the lead. Mike Jordan, the West Midlander, closing in. I've seen his son Andrew racing in the Mini Miglias this season, but he's elsewhere this weekend. Squeal of these Dunlop cross-ply tyres. Brilliant sideways racing at time. We haven't seen too much sideways action so far. They're not really flinging the cars around. S-Class probably a bit more spectacular through Palmer there. 3 of them line astern in that division as well. S-Class up to 9th, 10th and 11th overall, their leaders now. Through to the Bentley Straight once again. Let's see what Joe Thompson and Mike Jordan will do this time down the straights. Who's going to come out with the lead into the left at Brundle this time? The Brundle family, of course, from Norfolk, they're from Kings Lynn. F1 driver turned commentator Martin, son Alex, a successful racer and commentator these days as well. It'd be great if we could get the likes of Martin Brundle out as a celebrity guest appearance in these minis. And yes, as I thought, Mike Jordan's done it again. That's where he's stronger down the Bentley Straight, so he's got the straight line speed advantage. He's able to slipstream Joe Thompson. There's a bit of grasping kicked onto the circuit there at Corham, so whether somebody's been off, I'm not sure. Somebody's come into the pits. It's the number 795 car of Stuart Gilby, so he's pulled in probably to retire. Conor O'Brien harrying the number 20 of Darren Thomas for 4th place. Damien Harrington just behind them. There's Graham Davis. He'll have that 10-second penalty, unfortunately, for presumably for jumping the start. Joe Thompson not able to get through at Rich's this time. Has to bob back in behind Mike Jordan. He thought about a look. Get through the hairpin. 3 of them line astern. Joe Thompson may be waiting to attack until the final lap. You've got to know when to make your finishing move in a race for such evenly matched cars. We see that in the Caterhams as well, where they slipstream each other down the back straights, the Bentley Straights. Just got to know where to position your car to make that all-important move. A bit like a sprint finish to a a cycle race or a stage of the Tour de France, or indeed the Giro d'Italia, which has been going on recently. So 3 cars line astern for the lead in both divisions at the moment. Mike Jordan, Joe Thompson and Spencer Wanstall here. It's still Michael Winkworth from Jonathan Page and Fraser Hack in the S-Class. Matthew Page is 4th there. Matt Ayres rounds out the top 5. Then Andrew Hack and Chris Pryor, who started on pole. Began his association with the Mini 7 Racing Club, sign writing a number of these cars through his vehicle graphics business, Chris Pryor. Then moved across from his Legends car into a Mini 7. Jordan leads. The gap between the top 3 was 0.6 of a second at the end of the previous lap. See, it's a long lap here at Snetterton. They come into Brundle, then the right-hander at Nelson. Mike Jordan able to hold the lead this time. Up towards the bomb hole. There you see the drop, and back up again. It was originally named that by a group of motorcycle racers when the circuit was first built. And the long right at Corham up towards the left-hander of Murray's. Renamed a few years ago, used to be called Russell, named after Jim Russell, the racing school proprietor. And then renamed in honour of the voice of motorsports, Murray Walker. Here they come up over the line once again to complete their 6th lap in this Dunlop Mini Challenge and Mini Spares Mini 7 race, and Joe Thompson's going to have a go as they go into Riches. He comes out of the slipstream, he's got the inside line, back into the lead once again goes Joe Thompson, lifts a rear wheel as they head through the right-hander of Riches. See in the background there, if you get it wrong, you end up in the farmer's field next door. Hopefully nobody will do that this weekend. I remember, as I said yesterday, Mark Webber, the Australian, going in there once his front wing broke on his Formula 3 car as he was heading down the pit straights, and he was unable to turn the car, went straight on into a field of corn and disappeared. Through Palmer go the leaders. Starting to drop Spencer Wanstall very slightly now. Further back there, Conor O'Brien's got ahead of Darren Thomas. He must have done that at Riches. He was in the slipstream going down the straight. So O'Brien's up to 4th, the reigning 7s champion. Here's the S-Class leaders, still Michael Winkworth hanging on in the lead, man from West Row in Suffolk. Close to another well-known motorsport venue, Milton Hall Stadium, West Row. Looking for the inside, though, is Jonathan Page. Is he going to get through there? They're very close into Agostini. He had a run there, the Swift Tune powered car of Page, the man from West London. Fraser Hack sitting behind, perhaps waiting to capitalise on any mistakes. That's what the Hack family did yesterday when there was a bit of a tangle coming through Nelson's. Through Nelson now come the leaders. Jordan has held on ahead of Thompson once again. 3.5 minutes of this race to go, so a couple of laps left. That smoke you can see in the background on our shots going towards Agostini. Don't worry, that's not a car that's gone off. It's something going on one of the farms next to the circuit, I believe. Darren Thomas is back ahead of Conor O'Brien. Good battle going on there for 4th position as the leaders head over the line. It'll be 2 laps to go this time. Now is Joe Thompson going to get his run down into... I don't think he is. Meanwhile, we've had a change for the lead of the S-Class. Jonathan Page has taken Michael Winkworth. I think he did that on the Bentley Straight. Winkworth trying to fight back. You can see them sliding through Corham there. That's how you drive a Mini, you throw it round. Page a little bit wide, though, into Murray's. That could give Winkworth the momentum along the straights. 4th place is Matthew Page. There he is. Still ahead of Joe Polly in the 76 car, so she's dropped back again down into 10th place. There go the S-Class leaders. Here comes Winkworth up the outside now into Riches. Is that going to work? Side by side, it is going to work. Good move, Michael Winkworth round the outside to retake the lead of the S-Class. Battle is really joined here then. Here comes Fraser Hack as well. He's going for the inside into Wilson Hairpin. And he's through on the brakes. Good move by Fraser Hack. So Jonathan Page briefly led, and is now down to third place. That's how quickly it can happen in the Dunlop Mini Challenge. Still, your overall leader is Mike Jordan. Top three still covered by less than a second, and they're certainly covered by less than a second in this category as well. There's the smoke I mentioned in the background. Fire burning on one of the farms, I think. Very rural racetrack here in Norfolk, near the town of Thetford. Of course, here at Snetterton, where a certain Ayrton Senna had one of his very first race wins in racing in Europe in Formula Ford. Pit Straight still named in his honour. Through Oggies go the 7 S-Class leaders. Top three overall covered by 0.8 of a second. Still Jordan from Thompson and Wanstall. It's over a minute left on the clock. Going round to start their final lap this time. They're not quite as frantic as the race we saw yesterday. Here they come. They were swapping places on almost every corner, Jordan and Thompson. Spencer Wanstall looking on for third, and there's a good battle going on for fourth between Darren Thomas and Conor O'Brien still as well. Up over the line they come to start their final lap, 40 seconds on the clock. Mike Jordan, has he done enough in the number 88? A little more spaced out, you can see there into Riches. Joe Thompson lifts a wheel. Can he get a run here down into the hairpin? Thompson and Wanstall both did personal bests last time through. In fact, Jordan did the fastest lap of the race, 2:22.472 on that previous lap. They're getting quicker towards the end of this race as they push each other. Thompson has closed the gap. He'll try and get the slipstream down the Bentley Straight. I think I saw a yellow flag there, though, so no passing at Palmer's. Was that the other side? Is that up into the hairpin? I could see a yellow flag. I couldn't see what it was for, unfortunately. That'll be what it's for. We've lost Damien Harrington, who was in the top 6. He was 6th, but he's out of the race. Disappeared either at the hairpin or on the exit there. Couldn't see his green car. We'll pick that up if we can. Lost another car into the pits as well. Graham Penn has pulled in, number 72. Now, Joe Thompson, look at the way he's going here. Out of Hamilton up towards Oggies, and Spencer Wanstall. Oh, just a kiss on the back of Joe Thompson's car there, just letting him know he's still there. This isn't mini stocks racing, just getting the bumper in there. Whoa, where's Wanstall going? He's got a wheel onto the grass on the inside. He's cut the corner too tight there. That's lost him his chance of getting into the top two. Here's the S-Class battle, and Fraser Hack in second place. He's having a go at Michael Winkworth. See, they realise it's the last lap, and now they're all going for it. Matthew Page closing up as well, so the two members of the Page family. Who's leading as they get to the end of the Bentley Straight? It's still Mike Jordan. What can Joe Thompson do? Got a bit of a push there going into Oggies from Spencer Wanstall. He was trying a bit too hard because that was in evidence at Williams when he cut the corner too tight, and I thought he was going to spin. So he's down in third. It's between Jordan and Thompson. It's going to take something special from Joe Thompson if he's going to win this one. It's going to be a second win of the weekend by the look of it for Mike Jordan, and his third of the season. Close the gap on Joe Thompson at the top of the point standings. Here they come. Up towards the line then for our first victory of the day in the Dunlop Mini 7 Challenge with mini spares. It's going to be a win for Mike Jordan. He takes the double. Joe Thompson comes over in second. And Spencer Wanstall completes the podium. Still dropping back after a couple of slip-ups on the last lap. Now, what about the S-Class? Michael Winkworth's got the lead, but Fraser Hack is in his wheel tracks. This is going to be a good finish. Jonathan Page and Matthew Page in behind them. What can Fraser Hack do here? He's going for the inside into Murray's. He's never going to get that stopped in time, surely. Oh, yes, he is. He's got it round. Brilliant by Fraser Hack. What a last corner lunge. Is he going to hang on the run to the line? Can Michael Winkworth get it back? There could be a photo finish in the offering here. It could be 3 wide. Look at this over the line. Page up on the outside. Who's going to get there? It's a photo finish. Now, who's got that? We'll go to the timing screen. Fraser Hack got it by 0.015 of a second. What an incredible finish. Well, Michael Winkworth, I think he thinks he's won it, but the timing screen gives it to Fraser Hack by 15 thousandths of a second. Good grief. What a finish. We'll confirm the rest of the results in a moment, but it looks like it is a double for the Hack family. One for Andrew, one for Fraser in the S division. And overall, it's a double for Mike Jordan, taking the win by 0.6 of a second ahead of Joe Thompson. Another good battle between those two. What a start to our day's racing here at the Snetterton circuit. We'll give you the results in a second. So provisional result then, Mike Jordan beat Joe Thompson by 0.6 of a second. Spencer Wanstall, a couple of mistakes on the last lap there, but he does take third place. Conor O'Brien beat Darren Thomas in the battle for fourth by just 0.05 of a second. Graham Davis, despite that 10-second penalty, taking sixth. And then the photo finish in the S-Class, Fraser Hack beats Michael Winkworth by 0.15 of a second. Jonathan and Matthew Page next home. Joe Polly recovering from that tangle on the first corner to take 11th overall. And it was Andrew Hack down in 12th, so a double for the family. Ross Billison in 13th after going off on the first corner. Then it was Chris Pryor and Matthew Ayres completing the top 15. Behind them, Jack Vanner. Then it was the 16 of Andrew King. 721 Kieran Edgecombe recovered from a spin to take 18th. We lost Dave Rees, Damien Harrington, Graham Penn and Stuart Gilby. They were retirements. Fastest lap of the race going to Mike Jordan, 2:22.472, set on the penultimate lap of the race. Right, it's time to quickly get our breath back then. Well done to the Mini 7s. We'll see the Milias out a little bit later on, and that's going to be even more frenetic. Next race on the programme today is the Virtue Motors Mini Challenge Trophy for the newer BMW Mini Coopers. They are just as spectacular as we've seen in their 4 races so far. Let's head down to Ewan Dunlop, though, in Parc Fermé to talk to our race winners.
Cheers, Dave, here with Spencer. Spencer, 2/3 this week, and it's a bit of deja vu from yesterday, exactly the same 1, 2, 3. You didn't look overly pleased, but 2/3 places is pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah, I was biding my time and waiting for the last couple of laps to make a move. You know, Mike's a wily old boy. He was up to some of the old dark arts on the last couple of laps, getting on the brakes a bit early. So I ended up running up the back of Joe, and that just meant I had to nurse it home and sort of lost my chance. But you know, good race all in all, pretty clean. Massive thank you to Kentall Developments. Overnight we've had massive effort, big changes from yesterday, and you can see the difference out there. You know, I was 6 seconds off yesterday, and today I could have won. Could have been any of us. Mini 7 racing at its best, I think.
Yes, it's been an absolute wonderful weekend, so well done, 2/3 places.
Thank you.
Cheers, buddy, thanks a lot. Let's try and get Joe on. Let's get our winner in, actually. And from 2/3 to 2 wins this weekend, Mike. What a weekend.
Been a fantastic weekend, hasn't it? But the sun didn't come out. Everybody said the sun was going to come out, but little car was great. Swift Tune engine was brilliant yet again. I had a bit of a cautious first lap there because with the reverse grid you always think it'll probably get a little bit messy, and sure enough it did. I was a bit concerned on the second lap because there was Spencer and Joe and they were checking out, so I thought we need to get on with this and get back on the tail, but little car did its job yet again. It's
a lovely rivalry, you three, specifically this weekend, and that's what it's all about, isn't it? You get out the cars and you sort of high five and you shake hands. It's all very friendly.
It is. You know, I've done a lot of other racing when it's not like that, and it makes the whole thing a pain in the butt, to be honest. This is good. You know, if Joe and I, who race the closest of all of us at the minute, if we had a touch or something, it's because there's been a mistake. There's nothing. You know, of course I want to beat him, but if he beats me, that's just how it is. Yeah.
Perfect weekend, well done.
Very good. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That is all we've got time for right now, because we've got a fully packed schedule. So let's go into our next race of the day, which is the Virtue Mini Challenge Trophy. More minis coming up in a second. Over to you, Dave.